What up, guys? Welcome to episode 50 of Fresh Off the Mats, here with the Jiu-Jitsu Joes. And let me tell you, don't ever say we don't love and appreciate you guys, because filming episode 50 has been a challenge and a half to get this done.
I had to do a cancellation yesterday, set it up today, and today we're doing this late. Usually, today is not fresh off the mat. So let's just say
today is a couple hours off the mat. You know what I think it is, man? Like, we just have way too many things going on this week. Because for background story, it's Tuesday?
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
We're
supposed to fly out tomorrow, Wednesday, for like Worlds and Jiu-Jitsu Con. So it's a wild week trying to cram everything in the beginning of the week to be set for the rest of the week. And it's just been wild. And we're dealing with a hurricane because why not?
Why not?
Why not? Why not? What else could happen 2 weeks leading to Worlds?
Shut up. Don't say that right now.
Bro, at least me personally. For me personally, bro, it was my neck 2 weeks ago. Then this felt good. Then it was this, you said it was the oblique muscle. Now this feels good. Then I had a knot on my thigh, and I used the machine gun on it, the Theragun on it. And now it was black and blue, which means I tore something.
You should have done that.
Bro, it's just been one thing after the other. Luckily, I feel great. Ready to go for the week.
It's like the same thing with me. With my my psoas is pulled within the past 2 weeks now. I've had 3 or 4 major cramps where it goes all the way up into my abdomen.
Yeah.
And it's just like I can't do anything. It just sits there. It'll cramp up completely. Like, oh no, oh no, oh no.
And the thing is, like, I feel like in the last like 2-3 weeks, we haven't significantly ramped up. Like, it's not like we were here and we ramped up 100% more. We've ramped up maybe 20% more just to get some more. Yeah, and like it just seems like one thing after the other. I'm like, fuck, dude, but I feel good. I'm ready to go. I just want to get there.
That's it, dude.
And this one last challenge of the hurricane.
I want to get over there and just. My next challenge is I'm not close to weight. I'm a 4-pound clearance right now.
Okay.
But that's my biggest concern is 4 pounds plus the flight over there. The stress of what's happening now is not helping me, but I'm 164 right now. I'm hoping a gi is about 2 to 3, but now learning.
Your gi's on Thursday? No, your gi's on.
I haven't checked. I need to double check. I sent it out. I don't remember which one is Thursday and which one is Friday.
I want to say your gi is first.
I really, really hope so.
I think your gi is first. And then the no-gi is the next day.
So bracket 2.
If you hear any rain or anything, guys, or thunder, it's because we're in the midst of the beginning of the hurricane. So that's some added background.
Gi is Thursday, so
gi is Thursday. Yeah,
God.
They usually do
knock
the
that
gi
out first. At least I knocked that out first. Which part of me was like, now I'm not sure if I wish that was out first, because then I could have done my no-gi guaranteed first. No, I'm good for weight at that. Because I'm good on weight no matter what. That one is like. Because of the 7-pound difference that they do, it goes up to like 175.
Gotcha.
So I'm like 10 pounds off from the max weight. I can literally eat all day and I'm not going to hit it. Yeah, for no-gi.
So why wouldn't you want to get your gi done out of the way first?
Because I can lose more weight from competing the day prior.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so if I could drop like another pound or 2 the day of competing the day prior.
I think you'll be fine. We'll get there Wednesday. We'll go to like... I don't know what their equivalent of Publix is or something.
Yeah,
with like
I'm gonna eat light. Like that's the thing. I'm still gonna keep track of everything I'm eating. I'm still staying on top of my protein. I think if you just eat, like, you know your body. If you just eat like a normal human, like for the day before, I'm sticking with
the
what
morning of, like just whatever is good for you. Me personally, I personally don't like to have a big meal before I compete.
What I usually do is the night before. What I like to do, and I won't be able to, is I have like a steak and pasta.
Why couldn't you do that the night before if you wanted to?
Because I'm not taking that risk being that close.
Oh, you mean because you're close?
Yeah.
I thought
because even if it's like a 4-pound clearance, what I'm considering is the flight. Because the flight, because you can blow it up, and that can add only like 1 or 2 pounds.
What is that about flying that causes you to
pressure change?
And what it just causes? I'm not understanding.
It's
like
air inside of you.
That's it. That's what causes the difference.
Can be, and then sometimes some people it messes up their stomach. That's never
happened
to me.
When I fly, dude, I get constipated. Like the next day trying to shit for me after I fly. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I don't like using airplane bathrooms, because when you sit in them, you're like...
Bro, we're in the bathroom. We're in the plane for like 5 hours.
I know.
We're not there that long.
I take 4 to 6 shits a day, dude.
Slow down on the kombucha.
4 to 6 shits a day. 5 hours in the plane, I'm taking at least a shit. One shit. And I hate doing it because, like, you get in the airplane and you sit in the toilet and it's like this. And then wiping your ass is like this little trick where you gotta go.
Have you seen Soul Plane?
Soul Plane, yeah, back in the day.
Kevin Hart, the Method Man. Yeah. Bro, they had a whole mix in that movie. That shit was hilarious.
That might have been one of Kevin Hart's first movies, right?
I think that was like one of his first where he was like the main guy.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know he was in other movies where he was like the side character.
Okay.
But he wasn't the main guy. I think that was one of his first like.
That movie was funny as hell,
dude. It was. First thing that happened, he gets stuck in the toilet. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, dude. This is what makes me mad. Like, did you see that video about the lady complaining about how it's not fair for plus size travelers?
Stupid.
You saw the video, right? You know what I'm talking about. How does I have trouble?
So no, I didn't see a video. I saw the text of it.
No, there's a video where she's trying to go through the aisles and she's having to do the fat person shuffle to get through the aisles. And like she's like, airplanes should really accommodate for plus size travelers.
They have
it's called first class. It's called buy a ticket in first class, and then you don't have to worry about the seats being too small. But like when they have to use the bathroom, dude, if I have trouble sitting in that bathroom, how the fuck do they squeeze all that gelatinous?
I guarantee
in that small space.
Normal bowel movements because they're unhealthy. So.
You think that they're not overweight? They're just packed up with shit? Like it's just 500 pounds of poo-poo in there?
No, not 500 pounds, but I guarantee they're not regular.
Imagine if that's what it was. Like if morbidly obese people just had to shit out all the poo-poo.
Were you the one that sent it to me with that one doctor? He like just fucking flames fat people.
My 600-pound life, the Indian guy.
Were you the one that sent that video?
I mean,
to
I've
me
seen
today?
it. No, today no.
So someone sent me a video today. I think it was my mom. She sent it to me, and it was I don't know if it was a couple or if they were like brother and sister, but the guy, he wasn't like, he's bigger, but he wasn't like obese, right? Mm-hmm. He was just like, yeah, dude, you can go to the gym and work out for a bit, you'd be all right? But the sister, she was a 600-pound one. I think she was 700 pounds. She tried to blame it on water intake, and then the brother was enabling it because water intake.
Oh my god! I thought you said water and dick. I was like,
no, water intake. Oh. But they had a pizza in the hospital room.
It's like, there's so many calories.
You're an idiot. But they had a pizza in the room that the doctor was having to go talk to her for about her weight. And he literally goes, "What is this?" And he ate it. Immediately passed it. And then the brother's like, "Yeah, it was all me. I ate." He goes, "She hasn't lost, she's gained weight." They were, "It's the water. I got surgery on my leg. It's the water." He goes,
"Dude,
water." He goes, "Water doesn't have calories. Are you trying to tell me that you gained weight?" He's drinking like, water. "Your blood work shows you're dehydrated, so you're not even drinking enough water to gain weight."
The excuses that these people come up with to justify is like so wild.
It's like, that was the first one where
I saw the picky eater one, where like she's fat and she says to him, "Well, I'm a picky eater," and he goes, "Clearly not."
He's like, "No, you're not."
Bro, I love Dr. Now because he just tells it how it is. He's just like, "No, you're fucking lying."
Because the thing is, like people who coddle it, I don't think they understand
science.
Not science. I don't think you understand. You are helping that person kill themselves.
Yeah.
And that's why he takes that seriously. He's not insulting them to be an asshole. He's not even like directly insulting. He's telling them because it's like, no. You are literally killing yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that is a problem. That's not just, oh, yeah, go enjoy your life, blood free. No, dude. You are 700 pounds. You are 600, 500, 400. Even if you're 300 pounds, unless you are a 6'5 plus person, and even then, unless you're built, 300 pounds is a lot of weight. So anything past that, it's like, dog, like, you can lose the weight. Like, people will try to they'll jump on anyone just when they lose weight, and that's what gets me. I was like, how come you'll shit on someone for losing weight, but the second you see them gaining 20, 30, 40 pounds, now you won't say shit to them? Like, call them out when they're gaining weight,
because we live in a society where nobody, like, these people don't want to see other people succeed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when they gave, the singer Adele, she dropped like 100 pounds, and you know how much hate she got for dropping weight?
Did you hear what happened to Lizzo?
With the bananas?
No. What? No.
Are you talking about with the sex workers and the bananas?
Fucking what? No.
You didn't hear about this?
No.
Well, wait, hold on. Before we get to Lizzo and the sex worker and the bananas, Adele, was one of these people. She was bigger when she was famous. Then she started losing weight, and there were so many of these people who were like,
came out and she like people were like, oh my god,
How
you're
could you-
unhealthy.
yeah. And it's like, you
were an icon for us that were overweight.
But the problem is that these people don't want to see you succeed. These are the type of people you got cut out of your life. They don't want to see you do well or do better than them.
Yeah.
They want to see you stay as good as them or below them. They never want to see you succeed. And those kind of motherfuckers are dangerous. And people will have friends that are just like that. They'll have these people who they're like, oh, these are really good friends of mine, that they only want to see them do just as good as them or below them. They never want to see them surpass them. Those motherfuckers are not your friends. If your friends don't want you to win, they are not your friends, bro. Those people are super dangerous. I've been friends with a bunch of people like that, and let me tell you, those motherfuckers are negative energy.
I'm very
it's negative energy,
I'm
dude.
very selective about who I like. One, if I call you a friend, but like two, if I'm like hanging out, like it's.
But I used to be very impressionable. So like in my early 20s, like from like Joe from like his like when he started losing weight up until like 26, 27ish, like I was impressionable to like, oh, like someone who was like telling me things, like I would say, oh no, it's because they're my friend and stuff, and not see the real reason behind it. Like Joe from 27 on is more, I guess, mature and more pickier about who I'm friends with, and I'm able to smell that shit out like way faster. Where it's like, oh, I see what you're doing there. Like you're saying that because you don't want me to do better than you. You just want me to do just as good or below as you. And those motherfuckers you have to cut out right away, bro.
Immediate too, and that's
immediately.
But
they're
like,
negative energy around you. You can't keep them around.
And the thing, it's not gonna be easy. That's also a misconception people think. They think it's just like, oh, well, the one that they think they're going to catch it immediately. It's like, no, like, just because it can be hidden as like, oh, they are just a friend.
Yeah.
Or I've known them forever, right? Like, there's always that way to defend
or they're not doing it cognizant.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for?
I just said it too. I don't remember.
Cognizantly? No, that doesn't sound right.
I don't think so.
They're not doing it intentionally. They're doing it subconsciously. Where
they're not meaning to. And that's also the thing too. People have a hard time with the tough conversation. They don't want to call it out because they're like, "Oh, that's my friend. I don't want to have that argument." Which, it's like that. That's also the good person to have that argument with. Yeah. Like and it shouldn't be an argument. It should be like, "Hey, bro, every time I say something good." Yeah. You got something to say about it.
Like say something or like you twist it negative.
Yeah, like I'd rather you not say that. And if you got it goes back to the simple saying, if you got nothing good to say, then don't say it at all, right?
Exactly.
And unless and I'm not saying again, we're not trying to say coddle people. Like be upfront with someone. If they're doing something unhealthy, let them know. But if there's something I like to do, and you're just gonna come out and be like, oh bro, I would slow it down. Why?
And
like, if there's no
you train too much. That's the number one.
Yep, that's
such a red flag.
Bro, I fucking hate hearing that you train too much.
You train too much, or like, God forbid you post like, oh man, my elbow's tweaked or my.
It's because you train too much.
It's because you train too much, and it's like, stop, just stop, stop. Dude. I know what you're doing.
Fuck off.
You're jealous because you don't train as much, and now you're trying to twist it in a way that makes it seem like what I'm doing.
My whole thing is too is just
I'm not dumb, dude.
Bro, like not only that. Every old person you talk to, whether they work the desk job or not, has pain. My thing is I at least know my pain came from a life of rolling with people, being active, and not from sitting down slouched at a computer desk doing nothing with my life. And I have stories. Dude, I tell everyone, my biggest thing when I tell people like why I do the things I do, life is about the stories. Yeah. I'm not trying to be 80 years old and have nothing to say for my life.
Bro, exactly.
Bro, I'm just trying to say something.
I've had so many like times where people are like, oh my God, you hurt your knee, you should stop for a while, or you should do this, or you should do that, or you shouldn't continue doing jiu-jitsu anymore, it's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. Bro, it's about the journey. Nobody's immortal. Nobody makes it to the end of the game with no joint pain. Name one 50-year-old, 60-year-old that has zero joint pain. They were able to preserve their body.
Gravity's going to fuck you up when you get older. Gravity's going to catch you.
If we're all going to be at this point when we're in our 50s and 60s with achy joints, achy shoulders, I might as well enjoy myself and have fun. And like you said, the stories and that time we all went to Vegas and blah, 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 blah. Bro, these are the things that are important. Nobody comes out of this a winner. No. Nobody in life takes a pound from you one way or another.
You're going to die, so it's just live the life that you have right now. Focus on that. Understand. So the biggest thing I love is I follow Stoicism. Like I read a book every day with it, and I follow it wholeheartedly. Yeah. And one of the things they say is, every single day, live it as if it's your last, and embrace the fact that you are going to die.
Yeah.
And so one of the things, like Marcus Aurelius, he was a Roman emperor.
Yeah.
What he would always say is, you should envision you as you died, and then live the rest of your life with what's left. So just, you died today, right? Today was your last day. Tomorrow you should be living as if that you already died.
Yeah.
And
bonus
it's like,
time.
Exactly. Everything is just a bonus. And like one of the things he always talks about too is because Marcus Aurelius, I think he lost like 2 or 3 kids. Yeah. Like his children died when they were very young. He finally had one that was living. And so one of the things he always says is just like, I would envision my son not waking up the next day. And so it was his way of being able to say, every single day I have with my son is the best day it's going to be, because this is my time with my child. And it's like, understanding that aspect. People look at it very darkly, like, oh, you're just envisioning your own death. I'm not envisioning my death. I'm trying to envision the best life I can, by understanding I'm going to die.
Too many people, they're like, oh, this was the worst day ever. This was the worst day ever. And I tell people, I'm like, bro, is your day really the worst day ever? Like, well, like the thing about your true worst day ever, was it really that bad, or did things just not go your way and it was just an average day? Because let me tell you, man, your worst day ever for some kid in Ethiopia starving is his best day ever.
Hell yeah, dude.
So like when I think about it like that, I always take a step back, because I'll do it with myself too, where like things won't go my way. Maybe I don't know, miss a light, or someone cuts me off, or like my rolls were trash, my lifts were trash. When I think about it, like towards the end of the day, I'll just be thinking to myself when I'm on the couch, and I'm like, all right, things didn't go my way today, but was it the worst day ever? Like, could it have been any worse? And I think back, I'm like, I've had plenty of worse days than this. Getting a phone call, my mom died, like these things. So when you think about it, like, okay, so today was an okay day.
There's actually 2 things I have off of that. So one of the best advices I got for it was split your day up into quarters, right? So the first half of the morning, that was because you have about 16 hours, right? Let's say you get 8 hours of sleep. So you have 16 hours in the day. That's 4 4-hour quarters, right? 4, 8, 12, 16. Yeah, 4 4-hour quarters, right? So the first 4 hours of your day, that's quarter 1. So if let's say you started off the day really rough, you woke up late, you got cut off, you were stuck in traffic, you didn't get to eat, blah blah blah, whatever. It's all quarter 1.
Yeah.
You have quarter 2 all the way up to quarter 4. Even if the first half, look at football, right? People don't understand how it's coming from if it's like football, right? The first half could be horrible. Be getting shit on 0-27, right? The Falcons and the Patriots, I think it was. And then the Patriots came back and won the game, or vice versa, whatever it was. The other team came back and won from a landslide, from a horrible first half.
Yeah.
You always have that second half. And even if it's not the second half, you have that last quarter. Now,
all you have to do is win the last quarter. Which you could be getting destroyed the first 3 quarters of a football game, but if the other team wins the 4th quarter, they won the game.
You won the game. Shit sucked. Yeah. But then the other part of it was actually from a podcast today from, I don't know if you know who Alex Hormozi is.
Yes.
So he was talking about something today I listened on his podcast, and he was talking about if you break up the year and then you split it into the weeks, you are guaranteed a bottom 10%, of bad days.
Oh, yeah.
So one day, that comes out to 1 day a week, you are guaranteed to have a bad day.
Yeah.
1 day a week, guaranteed. But on the flip side, you are also guaranteed 1 great day of the week.
Yeah.
That means 5 of those days are just normal average days. But 1 of those days are going to be real shitty, and then another 1 of the days are going to be real great. Now, granted, it's math, so maybe you'll have all great days. And
you might have 2 weeks of having wonderful weeks, and then
2 weeks after
4 bad days in a row. Yeah.
So it's understanding that, okay.
It's a law of averages.
Exactly. When you start looking at things like that, like, oh, if I'm guaranteed 1 bad day a week, and you start really thinking about it, then it's like, oh, so this doesn't really matter. Because his whole concept on today's podcast with him was him talking about, like, your legacy doesn't matter. And if you start looking at things in 500 million years from now, this earth is supposed to be burned alive by the sun.
Bro, let me tell you one step even closer. 100 years from now, 150 years from now, nobody's going to know who the fuck we are.
And that's what he was talking about. His whole example was, he goes, I don't know my great-great-grandfather's name.
Yeah.
And his great-great-grandfather was apparently like a emperor in Iran or some shit like that, he was saying. He was like, I don't know the guy's name, and he was the top ruler of his country.
I have no idea the names of past my grandparents.
And that's the thing.
I have no idea.
He's like, you think someone's going to sit there and put you up on an altar and reverend your name? He goes, no one's going to care. He's like, that's where you should look at things in perspective. If you have a bad day, okay, yeah. You'll have a bad day, but it's not going to last forever.
No.
You're not going to remember it. Think about your bad day from 3 months ago. See how well you can try to remember it.
No,
you're probably not going to remember it that well. If it's a major life effect, maybe. But even then, what's going to happen in 5 years?
Yeah,
10 years.
that's why I
15.
tell people those days you have on the mats where you have like the worst roll, where you're like you have a shitty roll, and not so much like more so like new guys like white belts and blue belts in the beginning. I tell them, I'm like, just let it go, bro. Because let me tell you, fast forward 10 years, you're not going to remember that bad roll you had.
But you're not even going to remember
August
the great
20-something of 23. You're not going to remember it, dude.
No.
Even your great, fantastic rolls, you will not remember a year
because
you're
going to keep stacking on top of
now,
it.
if you quit jiu-jitsu,
you're gonna remember
then you're gonna remember those bad ones because
which is also why like it's a big life lesson in jiu-jitsu. That's
it's a drop in the ocean. That's what it boils down to. But if you quit and your ocean is only this big,
and you don't have an ocean, you got a cup.
Yeah, you got a cup. Good luck.
And you're gonna remember. It's gonna be easy to remember all those details, but it's like because I know a few. This was about a year and a half ago. I was able to remember, like, I still am very good at remembering a lot of rolls with people. Like, I can tell you what techniques I learned from what person. Mm-hmm. I'm good at that. I can tell you if I've, like, lost against this person. Not a certain amount of times, but I can say, like, oh, this guy's, like, up on me on submissions. I'm up on this guy on submissions. I'm not keeping track, but I can tell you, like, oh, this guy's never got me or this guy's gotten me a lot, whatever. But I remember you were telling me about that. And you're like, bro, I don't even remember the last time I tapped to someone or didn't tap to someone. Because you're like, it becomes nothing. And right now it's starting to get to that point. I'm only 3 years in, but it's starting to get to that point where it's like, it's not even about that for me anymore. Like, yes, the tapping and all that comes fundamental because I either made a mistake, whether it was stupid or not, or I did something really well and I'm evolving off of it. But it's the fact that now I'm not paying attention to the tapping. It's how am I getting to these positions? How am I doing things? And that's where I love jiu-jitsu in the aspect that it does, because of the real life involvement of constantly every day you have to go and face it on the mat at the end of every lesson. Mm-hmm. You have that life lesson of every single day you're going to learn that it just stacks up on top.
Yeah.
Whether it's a bunch of wins or a bunch of losses, it's going to blur because it's going to be where am I at now versus where I was last year.
Yeah.
I can tell you last year, I'm a lot more comfortable inverting than I was last year. I still hate it. I try to avoid it if necessary. But I'm a lot more comfortable than I was last year.
Yeah,
like
that's the thing is like Fabio always says. There's nothing new under the sun with jiu-jitsu. There's nothing new. There's nothing like
it's the same thing. Personal training,
it's training, all this stuff. Training. It's positions and training. There's nothing new. People want to say, "Oh, I invented this move," and all it is a slight variation. But there's nothing new under the sun.
Change your grip.
Yeah. So all it is time and hours put in. It's how many times can I put Mario in half guard and pass his half guard the same way until one of those hours he figures out, oh, I don't let Joe do this. If I just go here, I stop this. So it took 50 hours of me doing the exact same thing to you for you to realize, oh, don't do it this way. Now it doesn't happen anymore. The next part has to be, now I go this way. It's going to take, let's say, 50 hours for you to figure out, hey, when he does this, now I have to do this. And all it is repeating the same situations over and over time.
That's another thing that I love with it too, because that's another thing that applies to real life that a lot of people fail to understand. And this is also where, especially the white and blue belts, and I'm not trying to do this like as if I'm on a soapbox right now, just as a purple belt, but understanding, because it applies to everything else that you'll do, just like in personal training that I've seen with fitness classes and things like this, is understanding that those constant repetitions is what's going to get you somewhere. Because
100%.
What a lot of people fail to understand is that they start struggling and then they don't see the progress. But it's like that photo, I'm sure you've seen it, where the guy, the top person is digging for diamonds and then he misses it barely.
Yes.
But the guy who went a little bit farther than him hits the diamonds or the gold mine.
I've seen the meme.
It's the same thing. It's like, bro, it's going to suck for so long, but you will hit that understanding, that realization of like, oh man, like I got it.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna feel good. But then the beauty of it is then you do get hit with the changeup. It's like, oh man, like I remember the first time I stopped like the main darce, right? The main darce you always hit. Then out of nowhere you hit it from a different position that I've never seen before. I was like, what the hell? You're like,
yeah, because now
you stopped that other one a few times.
Level 1 doesn't work on you anymore.
Yeah.
So now I have to go to level 2. And it's going to take a little bit of time, but then you're going to stop level 2. And then I have to do something else. And I have to do something else. And this is good for the both of us because not only are you learning how to defend it, but now I'm sharpening, hitting it from other angles. So it works both ways. It works for you defending, and it works for me for the attacking purposes to not always just get it.
And that's also where that's a big thing, especially again for white and blue belts. Understand the not quitting is so important, not just for yourself, but it's for the others around you. And again, in life, you're not here for yourself, right? Like what's good for. So again, another quote that I heard today, it came from Marcus Aurelius, was "What's good for the bee is good for the hive. What's bad for the bee is bad for the hive. What's bad for the hive is bad for the bee, and what's good for the hive is also good for the bee." And that's to kind of explain that, yes, I need the roles to be really good for me, right? I'm trying to do really well, but if everyone constantly quits, then it's not good for them and it's not good for me because now I can't constantly try to upgrade because if all we're
you're
doing...
not getting any new partners.
Exactly.
You're not getting any upgraded partners. You just keep cycling
guys that are cycling with new.
Yeah.
It's like I'm going over the same stuff, and I never get to renew things. Those guys quit, so they never just ultimately get better.
Yeah.
So they fail, and so as a gym, that's not going to look good because now it's like all you're doing is rotating.
The culture collapses on itself.
Exactly.
If you have 3 dudes in the gym who they just beat the shit out of everybody that comes in, that gym will not last as long as opposed to 3 dudes who, hey, do it this way and walk them through and elevate their team as a whole. Because if I could bring you up to the point where you start whooping my ass, this helps me sharpen my game. But if I never help you progress and I just smash you all the time, you are not going to progress. I'm not going to have training partners to deal with. I'm just going to keep getting a new white belt, a new white belt, a new white belt.
This also doesn't mean, for in the act of jiu-jitsu, that means to let the lower belt always win. This isn't about winning. What people also, I think, misunderstand about that, they think that means I'm just going to let you tap it. No, I'm going to still get you. I'm still going to put you in these positions.
Push you in pressure cooker positions, but I'm not going to break you.
Exactly. I'm not going to hurt you.
If your first 2 months I broke your arm, that's bad on me. A, because no self-control. B, I didn't raise you up. And C, you ended up quitting, so I lost a training partner. But if I get the arm bar, and I know I got the arm bar, but you're 2 months in, and I'm like, all right.
Just fight like hell for it? Like,
I go to get it, and I know I got it, but I know this guy's 2 months in, so he's not going to tap. I let it go, and I go to something else. This is how you flow and raise a partner up. You don't just go, oh, I'm not going to let it go until the guy taps, and then the guy breaks his arm.
It's like, also, what do you get out of that?
You get nothing.
That's also a weird
thing. You just stroke your own ego. And congratulations for you. You tapped a white belt and broke his arm. Awesome.
That knew nothing.
Like, go break a world champion's arm. Then I'll be impressed. Like,
go have that match. If you do that, then fucking
bro, it's just crazy. And
Even,
speaking of those people in positions of power that take advantage of younger people, back to Lizzo and the banana situation. Bro, this chick is being sued by her backup dancers because she forced them, I want to say it was in Amsterdam, she forced them to eat bananas out of the private parts of professional sex workers. Yes, you're hearing me right.
How is she not being arrested?
I don't think it's an arrestable offense, but she could be sued for it.
But if they're saying forced, so were they like trapped in a room?
I don't think like that. I think it was more along the lines of I'm your boss and I'm telling you to eat that professional sex worker out with a banana in there, sort of deal.
Not that I want to like victim shame, but there's a part of personal pride in a sense. I don't give a shit if you're my boss.
Me too.
Go ahead and try to tell me some.
Yeah, but you got to realize, her backup dancers are A, as big as her. B, they were nobodies prior to.
So what I heard about that is that Lizzo is an asshole.
Yes.
She was body shaming all of them, and so that's where I heard the lawsuit coming from. She was body shaming
This is a part of the lawsuit that there were professional sex workers that apparently had bananas inside them, and she was forcing her backup fat dancers to eat.
She was just being an asshole.
She was just being a bully.
Yeah,
she was being a fat bully. Yes.
How's she not canceled? I know shit's gone kind of iffy for her now because of it. That's all I've heard. But I haven't seen anyone blasting the shit out of her. Fuck her, dude. Yeah. Like, she's an asshole.
Yeah.
She's a straight dick.
Yeah. I think her fame has gone to her head, and it's gotten to the point now where like
it shows she's not a good person.
She could do degrading things.
She wasn't a good person. Her whole fucking. It's like that one fucking Australian actor. She's an actress. She's not funny. And the only funny thing about her was the fact that she was fat, and that's what pisses me off. I hate actresses and actors that are like that, where the only thing they write on
Rebel Wilson,
her. And the fact that they just fucking run, the fact that you know her is the fact. Like, see, that's what I mean.
I was running through females that were fat from
that they only play off the fact that they're fat. Outside of that, they're not.
She lost a bunch of weight though.
Yeah, and now she's not in anything because she's not fucking funny. The woman has never been funny. Every time I seen her in a movie, I'm like, can you just shut the fuck up? Because the only thing about her was the quirkiness of her being the fat person friend. Like, shut up. You're not funny. Like,
Mario says that Rebel Wilson was only funny when she was the Duff, the designated
she wasn't funny.
Ugly,
No,
fat friend.
she wasn't funny. The only thing that I think really got her fucking up there was the fact that she was fat, and then like she did the exploitation of, oh, look at me. Same thing with fucking Lizzo. Granted, there are songs that I've heard Lizzo, she can sing in some instances, but she rides that train. Kind of like how Lil Dicky, he can rap, but all he does is the goofball shit. Yeah. So it's just like, you kind of fucked yourself up there by...
You put yourself in a box.
Yeah, you rode that weird train, and that's all you got left with. Same thing. So maybe Rebel Wilson is fucking hilarious. But the second that she lost the weight, no longer in movies because you ain't that fucking funny. And Lizzo, look at you, fat cunt. Don't be an asshole to people.
Rebel Wilson, if you're listening to episode 50 of Fresh Off the Mats, you should gain 50 pounds.
Don't gain 50 pounds. I'm proud that you got healthy, but
one for each episode. You should gain a pound for each episode.
Don't do it. Stay healthy. I'm proud of you for being healthy.
We'll see you guys next week for episode 51.
Hey, we're shooting for gold here.
Yes, sir. Hopefully next episode we have some gold around our